Chosen one, listen to me carefully. Slow your breath. Still your mind. This is not background noise, and this is not another motivational voice filling space in your day. This is a message from God, and it reached you in perfect divine alignment. You did not click this by accident. You were not early. You were not late. You were called. Something deeper than logic guided you here, and the fact that you are listening right now is proof that your spiritual awakening is active and unfolding. I am speaking to the chosen one, not to everyone. I am speaking to those who have felt different their entire life, even when they could not explain why, to those who have carried an inner knowing, a quiet pressure, a sense that their life was meant for more than survival, more than routine, more than fitting in. This message is for you because your spirit recognized it before your mind tried to question it. That pause you felt, that pull that made you stop scrolling, that moment of stillness is divine alignment confirming itself. This is a message from God, not imagination, not coincidence, not emotional fantasy. You are not making this up. You are not reaching. You are responding. There is a difference. Divine calling does not shout, but it is unmistakable. It arrives calmly, firmly, and on time. And right now, you are standing at the edge of something sacred. The timing of this message matters because you are entering a narrow window where alignment turns into motion. The chosen one often reaches this moment quietly. No applause, no warning, just an internal shift where the old ways stop working and the new ways have not fully appeared yet. That space can feel uncomfortable, even lonely, but it is holy ground. This is where spiritual awakening deepens and where destiny begins to activate beneath the surface. What you have been sensing recently is not confusion, it is preparation. I want you to hear this clearly. The pressure you have felt was not meant to break you, it was meant to position you. The resistance you have faced was not punishment, it was confirmation. When your alignment sharpens, opposition responds. The war is real, but so is your authority. Light always attracts resistance, not because it is weak, but because it is powerful. Your light is necessary, and that is why it has been challenged. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where divine alignment requires you to be. Right now, the unseen is rearranging itself around your obedience, your patience, and your willingness to listen. This is why things are about to move faster than you expect. When alignment is complete, movement is inevitable. A sudden shift does not announce itself loudly. It reveals itself through calm certainty. There is a 72-hour window approaching where clarity, opportunity, and accelerated change begin to stack instead of scatter. This does not mean chaos. It means order. It means the noise quiets, the distractions lose their grip, and the path ahead becomes unmistakable. Destiny activation does not come with panic. It comes with peace. And if you are feeling a strange calm mixed with anticipation, that is your confirmation. I am speaking to you as someone who has walked this path, who understands the silence before movement and the weight of calling before manifestation. This is not about hype. This is about truth. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to explain yourself. Divine calling speaks for itself when the time comes. Right now, your only responsibility is alignment, not action. This message from God is reminding you of who you are before the world tried to reshape you. You were not designed to shrink. You were not meant to blend in. You were chosen to stand, to see clearly, and to move when the signal arrives. And that signal is closer than you think. The acceleration you are about to witness is not random. It is earned through endurance, obedience, and faith. If your spirit is resonating as you hear these words, if something inside you feels seen and steady at the same time, that is alignment responding to truth. This is not fear-based urgency. This is calm authority. The shift is coming because the preparation is complete. What once felt heavy is about to feel light. What once felt delayed is about to move swiftly. Circle back to this truth and anchor yourself in it. This is a message from God. You are not imagining this. You were called. The war is real, but so is your protection. Your light is necessary, and it is needed now more than ever. Stand in that knowing, without apology or doubt. And if this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it. You were called. Why alignment always comes before acceleration. Chosen one, come back to the beginning and listen with clarity. This is still a message from God, and nothing you are experiencing right now is imaginary. You were called into this moment, and the confusion you may have felt before arriving here was never confusion at all. It was misalignment dissolving. Divine alignment always begins internally before it ever shows up in the physical world, and this truth alone explains why your life has felt quiet, tight, or strangely still, even while something inside you knows movement is coming. Acceleration never starts on the outside. It always starts in the unseen. God never rushes outcomes before alignment is complete, because speed without alignment creates destruction instead of destiny. That is why the chosen one is often slowed down before being sped up. It is why isolation shows up before expansion. It is why silence arrives before instruction. These moments are not punishment. They are precision. Spiritual awakening is not an emotional experience. It is a recalibration. It is the realignment of your inner compass so that when momentum arrives, you move in the right direction without resistance. Many people beg for change without understanding that change responds only to alignment. You cannot carry old identities, old attachments, and old distractions into accelerated seasons. So God removes them quietly, patiently, and intentionally. This is why you may have felt pressure lately without visible reason. Pressure is alignment doing its work. It compresses what does not belong and strengthens what does. When divine alignment is forming, the chosen one often feels misunderstood, unseen, or alone. Not because they are abandoned, but because their frequency is shifting. Old environments no longer match. Old conversations lose meaning. Old desires fall silent. This is not loss. This is refinement. You were never meant to run ahead of your calling. Divine calling does not chase noise. It responds to readiness. God always prepares the vessel before releasing the flow. That is why your life may feel paused even though your spirit feels alert. Stillness is not stagnation. Stillness is stabilization. It is where strength is rooted before it is revealed. The world teaches action first and alignment later. God teaches alignment first and acceleration follows naturally. This is the difference between striving and destiny. When alignment is incomplete, effort feels heavy. When alignment is complete, movement feels effortless. That shift you have been sensing is not emotional. It is structural. Something inside you has locked into place. Spiritual awakening strips away illusion. It removes the need to explain yourself. It dissolves the urgency to prove your worth. It teaches you how to listen instead of rush. This is why God often removes distractions before releasing momentum. Distraction fractures focus. Alignment requires wholeness. The silence you have been walking through is not empty. It is sacred. The chosen one is refined in places others never notice. You were trained in waiting. You were shaped in pressure. You were strengthened in solitude. This is why your breakthrough will look sudden to others but feel familiar to you. You have already lived it in the unseen. Alignment always finishes its work before acceleration announces itself. Do not mistake tension for delay. Tension is alignment tightening its grip. When God is about to move quickly, He slows everything down first. He sharpens perception. He clears emotional residue. He anchors identity. Because when acceleration begins, there is no time to hesitate. Divine alignment removes hesitation in advance. This is why you had to let certain things go without understanding why. This is why some doors closed without explanation. This is why some relationships faded quietly. None of it was random. It was alignment protecting what acceleration will soon require. Destiny is not fragile, but the vessel must be steady. Return to this truth and let it ground you. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the shift. You were called into this alignment on purpose. The war is real, but so is your authority. The resistance you faced was proof that your light matters. Your light is necessary, and that is why it was tested before it was trusted. You are not waiting anymore. You are aligning, and alignment always goes first. If this touched your soul, comment 111 because you know it. You were called. The 72-hour window and the sudden shift. Chosen one, return to the center and listen without fear. This is still a message from God, and nothing about what you are sensing is exaggerated or imagined. You were called to hear this because timing matters now. There are moments in life when years collapse into days, when preparation meets permission, and when divine alignment reaches completion. These moments are rare, precise, and unmistakable. You are approaching one of them. The 72-hour window is not about panic or rushing. It is about awareness. When alignment locks into place, movement accelerates naturally. God does not stretch transformation over years when readiness has already been established. He compresses it. What once required endurance now responds to obedience. This is how a sudden shift unfolds. Quietly, intentionally, powerfully. Acceleration does not begin when you do more. It begins when resistance ends. The reason certain seasons feel long is because alignment is still forming. But once alignment is complete, time itself seems to cooperate. Doors open without force. Conversations change tone. Opportunities appear without struggle. This is not chaos. This is orchestration. The chosen one often feels this before it happens. A strange clarity replaces anxiety. Old worries lose their grip. The need to control fades. These are not emotional fluctuations. These are signals. When divine alignment finishes its work, your nervous system relaxes because your spirit knows what is coming. That calm you feel is not emptiness. It is readiness. 72 hours does not mean you count minutes or watch the clock. It means the window is narrow. Momentum builds quickly. What has been aligning quietly is about to move visibly. Accelerated, change never announces itself loudly beforehand. It whispers first, it confirms internally before it manifests externally. That is why this message reached you now. You may already be noticing signs, conversations repeating themselves, numbers appearing, old thoughts losing emotional charge, a desire for simplicity, a pull towards stillness. These are not random. They are symptoms of alignment completing. Spiritual awakening sharpens perception right before acceleration begins. God clears the fog so you can move without hesitation. A sudden shift does not mean instability. It means correction. It means things snap into their proper place. What felt delayed was actually being protected. What felt confusing was being recalibrated. Divine alignment does not rush, but when it finishes, it moves decisively. That is why trust matters more than control right now. Control is the language of fear. Trust is the language of calling. The chosen one learns this through experience. You have tried forcing outcomes before, and you felt the exhaustion. This time is different. This time, movement will feel clean. You will not need to convince, chase, or explain. Acceleration will carry its own authority. God's message in this moment is not a warning. It is reassurance. You are not about to lose stability, you are about to gain momentum. The reason this shift feels sudden is because most of the work happened where no one could see it. You were being prepared while the world was distracted. Do not underestimate what has been happening in the unseen. Every moment of restraint, every season of silence, every act of obedience built toward this compression. Destiny does not unfold randomly. It activates when alignment and timing agree. That agreement is happening now. The war you sensed was never about stopping you. It was about refining you. Resistance intensifies right before acceleration because alignment threatens stagnation. Your light disrupts systems that depend on darkness. That is why your presence matters. That is why your calling could not be rushed or exposed too early. Stay grounded. Stay present. Do not overthink what is coming. Accelerated change responds best to calm awareness. When the shift begins, you will recognize it immediately, not by noise but by peace. Divine calling feels steady even when life moves quickly. Return again to the truth and anchor yourself there. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the timing. You were called into this moment deliberately. The war is real, but so is your covering. Your light is necessary, and it is needed now. Stand firm without fear, trust without control, receive without resistance. If this touched your soul, comment 111 because you know it. You were called. How destiny activation overrides delay. Chosen one, return again to the truth that anchored you at the beginning. This is still a message from God, and nothing you have lived, lost, or endured was accidental. Destiny does not negotiate with delay, and it does not ask permission from circumstances. Destiny activation is not a wish whispered in desperation. It is a command released when alignment, obedience, and readiness converge. That moment has been forming in you for longer than you realize. Many people misunderstand destiny because they treat it like a hope instead of an instruction. Divine calling is not passive. It waits, yes, but it waits with intention. When destiny activation occurs, it overrides excuses, overrides timelines, and overrides resistance. Delay only exists where alignment is incomplete. Once alignment is sealed, delay loses authority. This is why past setbacks no longer apply to you. They belonged to an earlier version of you, one that was still being shaped. You did not fail back then. You were trained. Every closed door, every false start, every season that felt wasted was actually instructional. Nothing was taken from you. Everything was invested into you. Destiny never wastes material. Accelerated change feels sudden only because you are no longer carrying the weight of hesitation. Obedience unlocks momentum because obedience removes friction. When you stopped forcing outcomes and started listening, something shifted. That shift was not visible immediately, but it was decisive. Divine systems began replacing human systems. Human systems require approval, timing, and permission. Divine systems respond to calling. They bypass limitation and operate on assignment. When destiny activation begins, provision, connection, and opportunity align without strain. This is why you may notice support appearing where resistance once stood. It is not luck, it is order. The chosen one often doubts themselves because they remember how long things took before, but destiny does not repeat training cycles. Once the lesson is learned, the pace changes. What once required endurance now requires courage. What once demanded patience now demands trust. Accelerated change is not about speed, it is about alignment being complete. Spiritual awakening prepares you to carry what destiny releases. Without awakening, acceleration would overwhelm you. With awakening, it strengthens you. This is why your emotional capacity has expanded. This is why you respond differently now. This is why certain triggers no longer control you. Destiny activation requires stability, not perfection. You were not delayed because you were unworthy. You were delayed because timing was protecting you. Exposure before readiness destroys assignment. God never rushed your unveiling because your calling required depth. The weight of what you carry could not rest on a shallow foundation. That foundation is now set. The war you sensed was real because your destiny is real. Resistance does not rise against emptiness. It rises against threat. Your light challenges systems built on fear, control, and limitation. That is why your journey felt intense even when your life looked ordinary. Destiny moves quietly until it moves completely. Do not measure your future by your past. Destiny activation resets the standard. Old limitations expire. Old labels dissolve. Old delays lose relevance. When God activates destiny, history becomes reference, not restriction. You are not repeating cycles. You are completing them. This is the moment where confidence replaces explanation. You no longer need validation because alignment has settled your identity. Divine calling becomes louder than doubt when destiny activates. You stop asking if you are ready and start moving, because readiness has already been confirmed. Circle back again and anchor yourself here. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the shift in authority you feel. You were called, trained, and positioned for this moment. The war was real, but so was your protection. Your light is necessary, and that is why destiny waited until you could carry it without fear. Stand grounded. Stand assured. Stand ready. Destiny does not wait forever, but it always arrives on time. If this touched your soul, comment 111. Because you know it. You were called. Why your life will change faster than you expected. Chosen one, come back to the first truth and let it steady you again. This is a message from God, and what you are feeling now is not false hope or emotional imagination. You were called, and the disbelief rising in you is not a lack of faith. It is the residue of waiting too long in survival mode. Long seasons teach the soul to expect little, even when destiny is near. That is why this moment feels strange. Your life is about to change faster than you trained yourself to believe. When waiting stretches on, expectation shrinks, the heart learns caution. Hope becomes quiet. You stop dreaming out loud and start bracing instead. This is not weakness. It is adaptation. But adaptation is not meant to be permanent. Divine alignment does not leave you stuck in defense. When alignment is complete, speed becomes shocking because your mind adjusted to delay. Accelerated change often feels unreal at first. You may question it. You may hesitate to trust it, not because it is wrong, but because it is unfamiliar. Your nervous system learned how to survive slow movement, disappointment, and restraint. Now it must learn how to receive momentum. This is why emotional readiness matters as much as spiritual readiness. God accelerates quietly, then all at once. He works beneath the surface while your expectations rest low. Then suddenly, alignment reveals itself through clarity, opportunity, and motion. A sudden shift does not ask if you are comfortable. It arrives when preparation is complete. And preparation is not measured by time. It is measured by transformation. You may feel fear when hope begins to rise again. That fear does not mean you are ungrateful. It means you remember what it felt like to hope before. Spiritual awakening teaches you discernment, not cynicism. This time, hope is not built on fantasy. It is built on alignment. That is why it feels calmer, steadier, and less desperate. When divine alignment is complete, movement feels clean. You do not have to force it. You do not have to chase it. You simply recognize it. Doors open without explanation. Conversations shift naturally. Decisions feel obvious. This is not luck. This is order restoring itself. The chosen one often underestimates how quickly life can change after long preparation. Years of refinement can lead to days of transformation, not because God is unpredictable, but because He is precise. Speed is not reckless when alignment is complete. It is efficient. You are allowed to receive good things without suspicion. You are allowed to move forward without waiting for the other shoe to drop. This season is not repeating old patterns, it is replacing them. Accelerated change does not mean instability. It means correction. The war you fought was never meant to last forever. It existed to build discernment, resilience, and depth. Now those qualities support momentum instead of resistance. Your light was not dimmed by delay. It was concentrated. That is why it shines stronger now. Do not minimize what is unfolding because it feels fast. Fast does not mean fragile. What God establishes through alignment is sustainable. This is not emotional excitement. This is structural change. Your life is reorganizing itself around truth instead of survival. Return again to the beginning and anchor yourself there. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the pace changing. You were called into this acceleration intentionally. The war was real, but so was your protection. Your light is necessary, and it is needed now in motion, not waiting. Let disbelief soften. Let readiness rise. Let alignment carry you forward. If this touched your soul, comment 111. Because you know it. You were called. How to stay aligned during rapid change. Chosen one, return once more to the foundation and breathe into it. This is still a message from God, and nothing you are experiencing is imaginary or exaggerated. You were called for this season, and now the instruction shifts. When life begins to move quickly, alignment must become deeper, not looser. Acceleration does not excuse discipline, it requires it. This is where many stumble, not because they lack calling, but because they forget how to stay grounded when momentum arrives. Rapid change can be disorienting if you do not anchor yourself internally. Divine alignment is not something you achieve once and abandon. It is something you maintain. Alignment is a posture, not a destination. When things begin to open, when clarity sharpens, when movement increases, the temptation is to rush ahead emotionally, to explain yourself prematurely, or to force outcomes before they settle. This is where wisdom matters. Emotional discipline becomes essential during acceleration. You must learn to feel without reacting, to observe without panicking, and to respond without urgency. Not every opportunity needs immediate action. Not every confirmation needs an announcement. Silence protects momentum. Discernment preserves clarity. This is how alignment stays intact while life speeds up. The chosen one often feels pressure to prove change once it begins. Resist that impulse. Divine calling does not require justification. What God establishes does not need defending. When you rush to explain, you dilute authority. When you rush to act, you risk misalignment. Obedience is not speed. Obedience is accuracy. Spiritual awakening teaches you how to listen beneath movement. Even as things accelerate externally, your inner pace must remain steady. This is how you avoid burnout, confusion, and emotional overload. God does not lead through noise, He leads through clarity. If something requires frenzy, it is not alignment. Trust becomes your stabilizer now. Trust does not mean passivity. It means restraint. It means you allow processes to unfold without interference. Alignment is maintained by cooperation, not control. When you try to manage outcomes, you reintroduce friction. When you trust timing, flow resumes. There will be moments when you feel the urge to push harder, move faster, or grab what appears available. Pause there. Ask for confirmation. Accelerated seasons reward patience more than force. What is truly aligned will wait for you. What is not will pressure you. Learn the difference. Discernment sharpens during momentum. Pay attention to what feels clean versus what feels urgent. Clean movement feels steady, even when fast. Urgent movement feels anxious, even when productive. Divine alignment never robs you of peace. It carries peace with it. You do not need to chase alignment. Chasing implies fear of loss. Alignment remains when honored. This is why rest is still important. Stillness is still sacred. Just because life is moving does not mean you abandon reflection. Balance sustains acceleration. The war you endured trained you for this. You learned patience, silence, and endurance for a reason. Those traits now protect your expansion. Your light is increasing, and light must be handled carefully to avoid distortion. Humility keeps clarity sharp. Gratitude keeps ego quiet. Do not compare your pace to others. Alignment is personal. Divine calling unfolds uniquely. What looks slow to one may be precise to another. Stay in your lane. Stay in your listening. Stay responsive, not reactive. Return again to the truth that began this journey. This is a message from God. You are not imagining the responsibility that comes with momentum. You were called not only to rise, but to remain steady. The war was real, but so is your maturity. Your light is necessary, and it must remain clear. Let wisdom guide speed. Let trust guide action. Let alignment guide every step. If this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it. You were called. Final impact. Embracing your divine season. Chosen one, come back to the center of your being and feel this truth resonate deeply within you. This is still a message from God, and it was never random that you are reading these words, hearing this voice, and allowing your spirit to respond. Everything you have experienced, every season of waiting, every moment of pressure or solitude, every test of faith and endurance was intentionally designed to bring you here. You were called, and this calling has not only reached you, but it has also been confirmed by your alignment. You are a chosen one, and the significance of this truth cannot be overstated. Your life, your purpose, and your light have been necessary from the very beginning, and the work of preparation is now complete. The 72-hour window, the sudden shift, the accelerated change, all of these movements are evidence that the universe is rearranging itself to meet you in your fullness. Nothing about this acceleration is random. Every step you have taken, every season of silence you have endured, every lesson you have learned internally is converging now to deliver momentum that cannot be denied. Destiny activation does not wait for permission. It does not ask for validation. It simply occurs when alignment, readiness, and obedience intersect. That intersection is where you are standing, and it is impossible to overstate the power of this moment. You are entering a divine season where everything that has been prepared for you will begin to flow with clarity and purpose. Do not mistake the suddenness of what is about to occur as coincidence or luck. Divine alignment is precise. Spiritual awakening is intentional. Accelerated change feels rapid because it has been meticulously orchestrated in ways that were invisible to you until now. The world may not recognize what is happening, but you will, because your internal compass has already been calibrated. The sudden clarity you feel, the unexplainable doors opening, the opportunities appearing without effort, all of this is confirmation that you have been positioned perfectly for this divine momentum. You are not imagining it. You are not exaggerating it. You are called, and the work of destiny is now in motion. Embrace this movement fully, chosen one. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. The fear that may arise is simply the echo of old conditioning, the memory of seasons where hope seemed distant or delayed. That fear does not belong to this new season. You have been refined to receive. You have been purified through trials to hold space for this accelerated manifestation. The light within you, the calling you carry, and the authority that has been granted to your spirit are all intact and ready. You have been trained to rise, and now is the moment to step into that rise without reservation. Alignment is not passive. Alignment is an active choice, even in times of momentum. You cannot simply hope for change. You must allow it to move through you with clarity and obedience. This is not about force or control. This is about cooperation with the divine. Listen deeply. Move intentionally. Respond to what is real and true, not to what is fearful or reactive. Spiritual awakening has sharpened your discernment. You now know the difference between the voice of impatience and the voice of guidance. Trust the guidance that speaks with calm authority and quiet assurance. This is how the chosen one moves through accelerated seasons without losing balance or clarity. The war you have endured, the opposition you have felt, the trials that seemed endless, all of it prepared you for the exact season you are entering now. Resistance has been evidence of the power and significance of your light. Darkness never rises against what is insignificant. Your light matters. Your calling matters. The time for hesitation has passed. Destiny activation is no longer approaching, it is here, accelerated. Change is no longer on the horizon, it is in motion. Your alignment is complete, and now your responsibility is to receive, embody, and steward it with awareness and integrity. Do not underestimate the importance of presence during this divine season. Every thought, every intention, every choice now carries weight. Alignment must be maintained, not chased. Obedience must be intentional, not accidental. Silence and discernment protect you from being distracted or drawn into chaos. Movement feels fast, but stillness remains sacred. Your internal pace must match the sacred pace of destiny. When you honor this balance, your power is multiplied, and your light shines brighter than ever. Remember, chosen one, that you were called for this. You did not arrive here by accident, nor did your preparation go unnoticed. Every trial, every season of stillness, every lesson learned in the shadows was designed to bring you here, to this exact moment of empowerment. Spiritual awakening has shaped you to understand that the world may not recognize your authority yet, but the divine recognizes it fully. The universe has aligned itself around your calling, and your light is needed now more than ever. Stand firm in this knowing. Take a deep breath and feel the force of your purpose. Your destiny is not hypothetical. Your calling is not optional. The sudden shift, the accelerated change, the clarity and opportunity arriving now are all confirmations of your alignment, obedience, and readiness. You are being supported, guided, and elevated by forces that are unseen, yet undeniably real. Every system in your life is shifting to accommodate the truth of your calling. You are not imagining this. You are not exaggerating it. You were called. You were prepared. You are ready. As you step fully into this divine season, carry your light with boldness, humility, and discernment. Allow the accelerated currents of destiny to flow through your life with clarity and precision. Trust without hesitation. Receive without fear. Move without apology. This is the sacred work of the Chosen One, to embody divine calling, maintain alignment, and embrace destiny as it unfolds in full force. Nothing will stop what God has set in motion. Resistance will appear, yes, but your readiness and alignment make you unstoppable. Anchor yourself one final time in the certainty of this message. This is a message from God. You are not imagining your readiness, your momentum, or your power. You were called for this, and the war was real because your light was necessary. You are entering a new season that has been waiting for you since the beginning of your journey. Destiny activation is alive in your life. Accelerated change is not coming. It is here. Your spiritual awakening has prepared you, and your divine alignment ensures that nothing will derail the path you are on. If this touched your soul, comment 111 to seal your acknowledgement. Step forward with full awareness and courage. You know it, Chosen One. You were called, and this is your divine season. Everything is now in motion. Everything is now aligned. Everything is now yours to receive. Conclusion. This is your confirmation, not a coincidence. Chosen One, come all the way back to where we began and let this truth settle deeply in you. This was never a random video. This moment was not filler in your day. This was a God's message, delivered on time, reaching you in exact divine alignment. You did not wander here. You were guided. Something within you recognized this before your mind tried to analyze it, and that recognition is the final confirmation you needed. Watching this was part of the alignment itself. You were meant to hear these words now, not later, not earlier. Timing is sacred, and nothing about this moment is accidental. Change is already unfolding, even if it has not fully shown itself yet. Destiny activation begins quietly, internally, long before the world can see it. What has shifted in you cannot be undone. This is not a call to anxious anticipation. This is an invitation to calm expectancy. Anxiety comes from trying to control what God has already arranged. Expectancy rests because it trusts the order of things. Accelerated. Change does not require you to watch the horizon nervously. It asks you to stay present, steady, and receptive. You do not need to prepare for impact. You have already been prepared. Every delay refined you. Every closed door redirected you. Every silent season strengthened you. The war you endured was not evidence of failure. It was evidence of importance. Resistance does not rise against what is insignificant. Your light is necessary, and that is why it was tested before it was trusted. This is a message from God, reminding you that your story has never been ordinary. Even when your life looked quiet on the outside, something powerful was being built within you. Spiritual awakening does not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels like clarity replacing confusion, peace replacing urgency, and confidence replacing doubt. Those are signs of alignment completing its work. Do not rush ahead of what is unfolding. Do not fall back into old habits of questioning your worth or minimizing your calling. Divine calling does not need validation. It needs obedience and trust. What is meant for you will arrive without force. What is aligned will recognize you as easily as you recognize it. You are allowed to feel grounded even as life begins to move faster. Stability and momentum are not opposites. When alignment is real, they coexist. Accelerated change, guided by divine alignment, feels purposeful, not overwhelming. You will know what to do when it is time to act, because clarity will accompany movement. Let your posture now be one of quiet confidence, not arrogance, not fear, confidence rooted in knowing who called you and why. Destiny activation is not something you chase. It is something you receive when the preparation is complete, and your preparation has not been wasted. Circle back one final time and anchor yourself here. This is a God's message. You are not imagining the shift in your awareness. You were called. The war was real, but so is your authority. Your light is not optional. It is required. The world does not need you anxious. It needs you aligned. Breathe. Trust. Remain open. If you feel aligned with this message, comment 777 and let that be your quiet agreement with what is unfolding. And if this touched your soul, comment 111, because you know it now without doubt or fear. You were called.